Okay. A little echo there. Yeah, I noticed that I changed this on Facebook and it came back. Okay, it's saying that you can support us on our move to Arizona. I mean, that is like 3 years old. I changed it 3 times now and it just reappears. Who do they have coding at Facebook? I'd like to meet these morons. They probably all look alike. And they walk around going, I'm a dweeb, I'm a dweeb, I'm a dweeb. I don't know.
They're all lizard people, I think.
I think so. They certainly don't know what they're doing when it comes to coding. It changed something and it comes back. I mean, what's that all about? You're going to do that there, kid?
They definitely should leave the coding to Pippa.
Yeah, Pippa would do a better job. Or Mander. Right, Mander?
Amanda.
Put him in a cubicle, give him some coding. He'd chew it up.
Look! That was just a really cool tail wiggle from Amanda. Now he comes over.
Oh, he's so handsome and lovely.
So we had Birds, Maria, and Sunshine TV looking by earlier. Not sure if she is still there.
Hello, Maria.
Hello. Hi, Calvin.
Hi, Calvin. And Falcon Sue.
Hi, Falcon Sue.
Rap.
Don't try to get the poop off the ground. Good grief, I missed one piece and you go for it. That's typical. Yeah, the way they treated him at the place he was at before, the one that rescued him, is they didn't give him any real toys. Just gave him Christmas. He learned to play with poop.
Yeah. I know what punishment I would do for them.
Give them poop to play with.
I've certainly a nice cell in my prison for them.
There you go. Well, that vet sold the business out. Now it belongs to somebody else, and one of those big corporations that doesn't care about animals. Because the first thing they said is Lucy has to go. We can't have an animal here that's not making us money. That is the first thing they said. So I got an emergency call. Can you take Lucy?
Well, Lucy's a sweetie. Who wouldn't want Lucy?
That's the fact.
Then they tried to send some people my way a couple of days later who wanted her. And, we have a relationship with her. And using the word relationship right away, I'll use the word triggered me. What do you mean? No, they didn't know anything about her. They didn't understand that she needed medication. They didn't know she needed to have her beak totally reshaped. They didn't know anything. They thought that somehow they had a relationship with her. I know how relationships go in the U.S. Most of them end pretty quickly. So what are you doing up there? You gonna chew on that? I'm talking
These
to you.
people just wanted a bird for no money.
Yeah, pretty much. Although they did seem like they sounded sincere, but they also sounded like you could hear the wind whistling through their ears too. And they didn't really know anything other than they liked her. Well, I might like a polar bear too, but that doesn't mean I'm going to bring it home and it's going to all work out. It didn't take long.
When I visited the zoo, I thought the tigers are absolutely cute.
Well, they are cute. They just, but when
but it's not like, oh, they're cute, I want to have one at home.
Yeah, right.
When a predator is smiling at you, it means they want to eat you. That's one of the things when you're working with parrots. It's best not to smile, because smiles are what predators do before they chew you up and spit you out. Well, sometimes they don't spit you out. Sometimes they actually ingest you, but.
Have we said hello to Lisa?
Hello, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Because Lisa is in chat. So hello, Lisa. Let's show her Cecil.
Lisa and Rico. What are you guys doing down there? Huh? Mander's taking a break. Yeah. As I said, it's one of those beautiful desert days in the winter, but you've got to remember we pay for it in the summer. So, although I've been told that, well, I actually saw it on one of that Neighbors app. There was somebody there like, we got rid of all of our warm clothes when we moved here. Yeah, well, it didn't get cold in the desert at night. In the winter, anyway. I was fortunate in that my grandfather, although I won't, there aren't many things you can say nice about him, but he did have a place up in the high desert. So I knew what desert was about. And I'd been out in that desert in 100, I think it was 110 that day, hunting for his lost steer. So they busted out. That's one thing steer do well, is they bust down fences.
So Jasmine has changed the sides. Now she's chewing up the other side of the aviary.
I've got plenty of rope for when she finally separates. So I got a big box of 1.5 inches out there.
Well, it's nice for the viewers. They get to see Jasmine doing something.
That's the thing. The viewers most often see Jasmine just sitting somewhere napping, and they might think she is just a stuffed bird.
Yeah, that's the way she looks inside. Outside, she stays busy most of the time. It's just a better environment for them, but can't bring them out when it's 115 outside, that's for sure. Once it gets over 90, that's pretty much it. Sometimes they can make it to 86, 87, maybe even 89. But by the time you're at 90, they've got their beaks open and their wings out, and that doesn't really help. So they're not, they didn't evolve to be able to take high temperatures like that. I'm talking about you. Yeah. Yeah, you. Jasmine. Jazzy Jazzbird. Oh, let's see. I switch this camera around. It'd be nice if we had one button to do that. I need to let them know that. You see the Babaloo up here. Right, Babaloo? Yeah.
Babaloo Bob.
And you know what I think about all the people who say, oh, they should never sit on your shoulder. Mm-hmm. Hi, Bob. Now, I wouldn't let him sit on my shoulder if I had just shaved my beard off. I know better than that, but...
You tried it once.
Yeah, I got an ear piercing for that. And he wasn't sitting on my shoulder either. He can't take any major changes to my behavior. That's why you always see me with a short beard, short hair, same kind of glasses. That's why. All to make the Babaloo feel better and to keep me alive.
Like, Bob's kind of a terrible bodyguard, to be honest, because if you change your appearance at all, then he's going to attack you. It's like, that's not how bodyguards work.
Yeah, I think that in the wild, my best hypothesis is that when you see a bird that doesn't look like it used to, it's probably sick, so you have to push it out of the flock.
Mm.
Usually, a sick bird will leave the flock. That's just when they don't feel well, they go away, and I mean that's the best thing for the flock. But I know what our topic is, but there's something else I want to discuss. I was talking to somebody, and they've got a bird that's got an infection, a bacterial infection, and also has has something like thrush, an overgrowth of yeast, and they're on medication. The bird's on medication. She's, this lady's been great taking the bird there. But the point I want to point out is that there's a lot of things that are aftermarket that you could buy off the shelf if you were in an emergency, that might be helpful. Turmeric is an antimicrobial. I mean, that's a possibility. Apple cider vinegar, in an emergency, if you can't get to a vet in the U.S., you can't just have these things on hand because it's a free country, so you have to go through the bureaucracy to get anything. Yeah, I know, Bob, it's funny. But that's funny, free country, but you have to go through the bureaucracy. So if your bird gets sick on a Saturday night and the vet doesn't open to Monday, the U.S. government is perfectly happy with your bird dying because you got to go through a bureaucracy. But anyway, if you're taking something, let's just pick one, meloxicam. Okay, Metacam, there's a lot of names for it. Meloxidil, these are just different names for basically the same kind of anti-inflammatory. If you take something off the shelf from your local store and you add it to the mix with the prescription drug, I'm going to switch the camera since you moved, Bob. What can happen then is that the two drugs, the thing over the counter and the drug that you're getting from the vet, are going to work against each other. Okay. So it can cause it not to work, or it, may imbalance the situation and make the bird sicker. So don't do that. If you're under veterinary care, don't add anything to the mix unless you get express permission from your avian vet. And I would say even then, look to make sure the vet is right before you add anything, okay? Because if you, pick something off the shelf, I'm going to give my bird milk thistle, because they've got a liver problem. We're the vet's dealing with it, but I'm going to add that. No, don't do that. Two drugs don't necessarily make the same, make things better. So. And this whole aftermarket drug thing where you can buy these supplements that say on them, that they're not supposed to cure anything, and they're not regulated by the FDA. That started in 1933, and that needs to be overturned. They make these things look as if they can, even though they say they can't heal anything, they turn around and say that they can. So they have both on the label. Or they'll give it a name, like it'll say something like liver cure. It doesn't, not quite that blatant, but that doesn't
Bobby is so cute.
That doesn't mean some of them don't. Hey, what are you doing? Yeah, he hears you on the phone. I forgot this.
Oh.
I forgot to thing to my earpieces. That's why he's acting.
Oh no, the phone people is talking to Bob. That's not allowed.
The
But
phone
now
people.
when I'm off micro, I can, at least for Bob, I can say hello to Spirit Meta and Bukti Shah, who just joined us. So hello, friends. Good to have you here.
Hello.
Hope you
Hi,
enjoy
Bukti.
the outside.
Hi, Spirit Matter.
And
Hi,
happy
Spirit
birds.
Matter.
Oh, look at that fluff burb. Oh, and Jam and Jamie just joined, so hello to Jamin.
Hi, Jam and Jamie. Hello. So if you're out in the I had another person who was out in the middle of nowhere with the snow coming down, and it's a 4-hour drive to the vet, and the bird that bird apparently has crop stasis. Now there can be a lot of different reasons for that, and rather than just saying what I think the possibility would be, I just went to Chat GPT and explained the situation and why the person couldn't get to the vet right away. They're going okay, but they couldn't, and it was nighttime too, so they couldn't get there. And it gave me, line by line by line, the different things that it could be and what the most probable situation was, which is what I thought it was, and what to do about it. And fortunately, what the veterinarian would probably do, I mean, you have to wait for tests, but the veterinarian would probably put this bird on nystatin right away. And there aren't any drugs made for birds, so nystatin is nystatin. For dogs, cats, whatever, they use the same thing. So she happened to have some. So.
Mm-hmm. So we have a viewer on Facebook. It's Bettina Tommaso Packard. Who says, good afternoon to all of you.
Good
Hello, Bettina.
Bhakti share comments on your story, Dawn, beautiful foster mom and dad.
Yeah.
And that's Cecil with his toy.
It's two toys. He's got
It's
that.
Actually 2 toys.
Yeah, he's got that wax to string that he likes that comes from those.
So he's tying it to the ball.
Oh no, we lost Dawn. What a pity.
No.
But we have media assets, so who wants to see Sugar Says Hi? Oh no, he's back already.
Never had that happen before.
Not Dawn, we didn't miss you. I just wanted to show Sugar Says Hi, but I'm just joking. We're happy to have you back. So just let you put in the middle. So there we have Dawn and Cecil again.
Yeah. Oh, and Amy, I just noticed it said you're full of spinach.
I am.
Are you still?
I ate the second portion today of my spinach pizza rolls.
Lovely.
Now I want to go get Indian food. You can't get it. Well, you can get it delivered here, but they charge you like $1 a mile or something. It's ridiculous. But
Yikes.
yeah, it's like $60 to have them deliver something. It doesn't work. But
Have some sag paneer.
papadum. I could love some pop. Yeah, sag paneer. I definitely want that and some papadum to go with it. But
yeah,
I
love a Peshwari naan as well. That's so good.
Oh, back there's Tiny Man. And we got a donation from Lisa, about $50. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, thank you so much. Bob, can you say thank you? He's like, no, I don't know that one.
Do any of them know how to say thank you?
Nope.
That's too bad.
But Bob was talking lovely yesterday. He came over and made kisses to us.
Bob, can you do kisses? Bob, kisses? Yeah. Oh, come on, kisses. Kisses? Oh, come on, that's a good boy. You did one kiss, but he can say kisses too, but he's not in the mood.
Yeah, he came over, said kisses, and then.
Kisses?
But I know birds need to be in the mood.
Yeah, see, he knows there's people on the phone now, so he's in that mood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's got
know,
kind of
don't
a
you?
form.
He's gonna act up a little bit, but that's the way he is, aren't you, Bob? So, being a trader, trading one thing for another. I'm working with that right now with KK because he's decided he wants to chew on his rope perches. And he's got one, he's just about taking it apart. So I'm hanging other things in his cage to draw his attention. It seems to be working. It's got to be at least as entertaining as chewing the perch, preferably a little more entertaining. I've got one of those big boings to put in his cage, but I got to put a chain up around. You shouldn't hang something that heavy off the bars. You can in here, but not with their standard size bars. So I have to put a chain across the top or around the middle post on his dome and hang it from there. Then he'll probably chew that up, but that's okay because that's what it's meant to do. Play on it and chew it up. What are you doing? What are you doing, Bob? Babaloo. Babaloo. Kisses? Good boy. That was a good little kiss. Oh, you want to? All right. That's his way of kind of kissing you. He taps you with his beak. Now, Bob, that's his real kisses, right? Hmm? Yeah, we live in a place where you can come out a lot of the time in the winter in a pair of shorts, but in the summer you could cook a can of beans by sitting it on the roof of your car.
Well, you can come out in a pair of shorts as well when you live where I live. I mean, in school there was always that one boy who came also in winter in shorts. But
Good
okay,
grief.
I mean, only the hearts come in the garden. That's a German saying. Nur die Harten kommen in den Garten. No idea how to translate it.
Say it again slowly.
Nur die Harten kommen in den Garten.
Only the hats come in the street.
Yeah, it's like the
What?
phrase in English where you say every now and then and it means once in a while. Doesn't make any sense. You know what it means, but it doesn't actually make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've not heard that one actually.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think in German there are so many sayings, and one just becomes aware of them when one learns foreign languages, and then translates them word by word like our foreign minister does. He actually said, "Now we have the salad," and when something has happened, has gone broken or so, in Germany we actually say that when you translate word by word, now we have the salad, so jetzt haben wir den Salat.
Yeah.
But internationally, I doubt that anyone got it.
Yeah. I know some German idioms. I know there's gleich und gleich gesellt sich gern, which is birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah, that's
a good one.
I like the English one.
Yeah. We've got birds of a feather flocking together, haven't we?
That's, well, most of them. The Moluccans like to stay apart a bit.
Yeah, they have their own flock, I think.
Yep. They are a flock, but their density is not the same as when it comes to umbrellas.
Yeah.
What are you doing up there, girl? You're not done chewing that yet?
Well, she's
She makes a
focused
heck of
today.
them. She makes a heck. You never know I swept down there.
That's the
Just
thing. When people think like, oh, the guy here really should clean that aviary. Yes, he has done that. He does it every day after the birds are out, and when they're in, they make a mess. Shuggy. Now the
Yeah, if
Shuggy.
you're gonna have a
bird.
parrot, you've got to learn to put up
That's
with
the
a bit of
thing.
mess.
Even tiny budgies can make a mess out of your room within a couple of hours. So a big parrot probably can do far more. So just to be aware.
Like Bob when they rehomed him with this guy who left him in his office for an hour, and he came back and all the cords, everything were cut. The keys were off all the keyboards. Um, the place was a complete disaster. And then he takes the bird back and he says, "Oh, the bird did this." And I mean,
Yeah, that's
why?
so mean.
Why?
And Bob has worked more in an hour than this guy probably in its whole life. So
Probably, yeah. That's why it's so important to know what these guys can do and what they need. But
and and he waits till today for his salary. Oh, Bob, haven't they paid you for your work either? Did they
yeah,
screw you?
he gets paid for his work. He gets his berries. He's the only one that gets them. They're they're all right. They're as a treat, but they're not the kind of thing you want to base your diet on. But he gets 4 of them a day, so he eats everything else. He eats his mash, and he gets 4 of those a day because if he didn't, he would freak out. He's got to go into his bowl and find them. If they weren't in there, he'd look at his bowl and look at me like, "What, did you lose your mind?" And again, that's a trade-off. He gets those, and his behavior is just much better. If he doesn't get them, well, he's going to be a little rough around the edges. And working with these guys is always a trade-off of one thing or another. Um, like with Cecil, the trade-off we made is that he can use either one of his feet and tap me to get petted. Now the trade-off there, I mean, he doesn't nip at me for that anymore because he gets immediate response with his foot. And that's the thing. Whenever you're trying to get them to change behavior, you want to give them something else that still gets them what they want, but it also fits into your world, right? You know, coming up and nipping them a little bit for petting isn't going to work. So you train them to use their foot. It could have ended up somewhat. I was just waiting for him to do something that would be better than the nipping. And when he tapped me with his foot one time, I just started petting him right away and praising him. And then after that, sometimes he will have me going just constantly. Come over and tap me. I'll pet him for a little while, stop. Then he'll do it again, and he'll just keep doing it again because he can. He now has the power to make me pet him, so which is good. You want to. Training doesn't mean making them little robots. It means giving them the power over their environment. So, and he definitely has that. He can control my behavior, and he knows it. So. This one, when she comes over and presents her face for preening, if you don't give it to her, then she starts whining and she gets all upset. I tell her my arm's getting tired. She doesn't care. She'll let me rest my arm for a little bit. Much longer than that, she'll start crying. Right, baby? Yeah. On this one, if you don't say, praise her for making her song, then she starts running around and she'll come over and run up at you and act real aggressive. She just wants you to thank her for singing. That's not the only behavior. But I like her singing, so I always praise it. So if I forget to do that, she will let me know.
It's a good song. It goes beep, 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 beep.
Beep, 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 beep. Man, or what? What Mander? He's funny because in the morning I get them their dry food first because that's the easiest thing to do. I've got to heat up everything, get everything in the bowl because they get several different things in their food. So I get them their dry food and their water, and then yeah, I know he'll look at the spot where his wet food goes when I come out in the morning. Like, can't you fill this first? He almost always sits right by that spot and looks like there should be a bowl in there.
Oh, it's time for spinning. Spin, 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 spin.
That is just a Moluccan
Happy
behavior.
man.
When they're happy and they're displaying, they do the circles. You see all the male Moluccans do it at some point, unless they're really screwed up. But
Amanda, you are such a sweetie.
Spin, spin, spin. What are you doing over there, Mr. Ander?
I think he's having a good time. Even Snowball is sitting on the same perch as he does, but seems to be okay.
He's getting along better with Snowball. Snowball doesn't bother him, and he's realizing that Snowball's just going to leave him alone. So
I think Snowball realized it's more fun bothering the aunties.
yeah, our deal is that he behaves himself when there's a crowd out here. But if I start taking birds out, he has to be one of the first out because he'll start getting a little territorial and aggressive. But he doesn't do that when we're all in here. Part of that deal is that he gets to sit with me for a little while too. So I have to take him out and sit with him in the socialization
That's
room.
so sweet. Sitting over there, Shuggy and Lucy. Oh, goose, goose.
That goose. So the technical name, there's always a technical name in ABA, is DRA. It's differential reinforcement of another behavior. But just basically, you want to find something else that will replace the behavior they're doing. In most cases, that behavior is a necessity. It's something they need, and so you need to find something else that will fulfill it. Think of it like water. You have to have water, so you can't take the water away from them, but maybe you have. I'm not suggesting you give them fruit juice. I'm just saying you have to find something else that is going to be equally as interesting because they need it. Now, maybe it seems silly to you. They need to chew on your couch, but there's something going on there. So. What, Bob? That's not unusual for them to want to, chewing is something they do to keep their beaks in shape. So they're going to need to do it. Cecil, you still playing? So when you see them doing something you don't want them to do, try to think of something else that will fulfill that need. So again, with yelling, something like that, there's something they need attention, or they you have to try to figure out what it is they want and find some other way to give it to them. So the
So don't we
usual
have a
net.
question?
Sure.
I have it here from Lisa. Don off camera, does any of the birds fly on you? Do they like flying?
Yes. There are some that won't do it because they can't, like Mander. But yeah, Snowball will fly on me. Cecil doesn't fly unless he's scared, so he won't do that. Sugar doesn't. Well, she'll fly sometimes, but she doesn't really think about
But
it.
only 60-degree angle or more
Yeah.
towards the floor.
Yes. She has the ability to fly. She just hasn't. She needs to get those wings exercised. And if at some point I actually have more time to spend with them, I will do that. Get her in an aviator harness and with a 12-foot leash on it, and get her to fly in a circle. But hi, loose girl. Lucy flies on me, don't you, Lucy? All of a sudden, I turn my head and whack, she flies right into
That's
me.
the thing, one never knows when Lucy actually is going to fly. I mean, she's pretending 99% of it, but then sometimes she actually comes for you.
Yeah, she likes to keep us guessing.
Lorelei flies on me all the time. I'm just a landing post for her. But her mode of movement has been flight since she was able to fly. So she thinks of flying before she thinks of walking. So she'll be sitting there and then just fly somewhere else. With Lucy, she has to think about it a little bit, but she likes to fly at you when you're not prepared for it. So
Yep, Lucy comes when Lucy is prepared for it. Spin, 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 spin.
yeah, he's a happy boy today. Glad he came out. I had to talk to him a little while to get him to come out.
Yeah, Snowball is flighted. Then Bob can fly excellent. Pippa, Corsi can fly. She has trouble with landing, but that might be due to her eyes.
Yeah, she does. She flies over to me in the kitchen quite frequently. She'll do that, but she doesn't always make it to my shoulder. And it's not because she can't fly; it's because she can't see terribly well.
Poor girl.
Which may be why she's so aggressive. She doesn't realize who she's going after.
Yeah, or just who she thinks maybe someone is coming for her. Makes her probably more insecure.
I didn't put my finger up there so you could clean your beak on it. Yeah, Laura.
Rosebud is here, so welcome, Rosebud.
Hi, Rosebud.
It has snow where she lives, and nice day for the birds. Yeah, nice weather, so they can be outside and try to cuddle with them from behind. Can you sneak over, Mander? What a sneaker.
Hey, hi, Mander.
And Lisa says Rico is a flyer.
I think she flies. Rico flies into Lisa's face quite a lot, I think I recall.
At least Rico knows he's a bird, unlike Cecil. I mean, Cecil is like, sometimes reminds me of a penguin, but the thing is, penguins can fly, they fly in water. While Cecil, I don't know.
He can only fly when he's scared, so. But at some time in the future, if I ever get any help, or I get some time, I can bring him out. He can learn to fly on his own choice, instead of, I don't want to see that, I'm out of here.
I think every other bird would curse you when you actually try to teach Cecil to fly.
Maybe so, but he needs to learn. And Sugar too. There's another one that needs to fly. Hi.
Well, Jasmine has often the flappies, so she's training her flight skills. Sugar, not that often, but at least Sugar is running around more often.
Well, the side of the house, the other side of the house, there's a fence there that goes to the other side of the property, and you could put chicken wire up over it and make a long run of about 40 feet where they can fly. But that's a project, that's for sure. That's a big project, isn't it? Wouldn't be that hard to do, though. Then you could just let them fly. All right, all right. That's another thing. He has learned that if he comes up and just puts his face on me, that I will pet him and preen him. Before this, he was coming up and bonking me on the head. And he's got a big beak. When he whacks you with that thing, it hurts. But all he wanted was to get petted. So I just taught him, if you come up and just gently touch me, otherwise I would just run. I would just pull away from him and say no. So now he comes up and he puts his head on me, and I preen him. Right, big boy? Mm-hmm.
I just see pink and a little red.
Well, that's the thing. Somebody might not know why. If your bird comes up and whacks you with its beak, it wants something. Um, so it didn't take me long to figure out what he wanted, because if I petted him, he would definitely show he would show interest and do what he's doing now. So what I had to do was show him that if you whack me with your beak, you don't get petted. But if you come over, and what I did was wait for him to come up with another behavior that would signal or trigger me to pet him. So you're basically working with cues, and you wait for the bird to do something that's acceptable, and then you reinforce that behavior, and that way you end up with the behavior you want. Um, if I were trying to stop him from wanting to be petted, that probably wouldn't work too well, because it's a necessity to get preened on the head. And so they're going to do this, and he can't get anybody else to preen his head because he's too chicken. And other birds get close to him, he runs away. So I have to be the one to preen his head. Not that I mind, right, big boy? Right, big boy? But if I were to stop preening him right now, he would eventually, try to nudge me with his head again. And if I didn't pet him, then he would whack me with his beak, because we're at that point where a resurgence of behavior is going to be closer to the service. Now, you may train a bird to only, like the Cecil, to only tap you on tap on you with his foot to get petted. But 6 months from now, he may turn around and nip me to get attention. And again, you just go back, and you've already gone through that path, and it doesn't take terribly long. And within a day or two, or maybe even within a few minutes, he's back to tapping you with his foot. So, well, I was going to pet you. Don't laugh at me. Okay, man. If I hold the phone at that position much longer, my hand is going to be frozen in that position. Turn the camera around. Bob, I won't ignore you. I'll pet you, son. I will. I think humans we have this urge to try to commandeer our animals and make them do what we want. I've seen it in veterinary offices. You've probably seen this where somebody is dragging their dog in by the collar. You know, they got them on the leash and the dog's pulling the other way because they don't want to go into the vet. I don't have any birds that act that way, but it is depending on their experience at the vet. You can have that. These guys have all been trained to accept dealing with the vet, but that's why you get people who don't know how to work with their dogs, and then the dog digs its feet in, and they're dragging them into the vet office. And I don't find that funny. Most people see that as a little amusing. I see that as just a failure to train your dog. But so again, if you're trying to get them to do something and you're going against their in this case the dog's fear, so you're pulling the dog's afraid to go in and you're pulling it. You're not strengthening your relationship with the dog, and instead you're looking like the commandant of some. You're in Guantanamo and you're torturing the prisoners. You know, it's just it doesn't work. It makes them less likely to listen to you. So what you want to do in that situation is, you know, maybe if you live close enough to the vet, that's not true here, but most people have dogs and cats and you live close enough to the vet, you want to bring them by the vet's office and give them a treat outside the door. And then slowly move inside the vet's, you know, tell the vet what you're going to do, you know. Slowly move the animal in a little closer, open the door, give them a treat until they're inside. Get them used to the idea that that's a place where they get rewards, you know, something they like. That's called desensitization. But when you have to find some alternative for what their natural, you know, their focus is, what they want. With Bob, his best focus is being out here. As long as he's got stuff to chew and the outside to look at, he's a happy bird. You bring him inside and you try to put him in a room with a bunch of other birds, and he becomes all freaky, don't you? You become all freaky, don't you?
Well, I think tritons are a little freaky, just by nature.
Yeah, they are.
So we have funny chat talk. Jocelyn is here, so welcome, Jocelyn Triggle. I think we haven't said hi to you yet, and she's telling us about Cinnamon, who narrowed her hand when stopped petting her. So that's sweet. Cinnamon is also a demanding bird and traits behavior.
Yeah, Cinnamon sounds like a kitty.
Mm-hmm. Then I'm also not sure if we greeted Rosebud yet. So welcome, Rosebud. If I forgot somehow, I'm
Welcome,
not sure.
everybody. If we missed you, we're sorry.
If we forget to greet you, and you can complain always. Sometimes I'm just like hypnotized by the birds, like, oh, they're so cute, they're so cute. Half an hour is over.
And I've got my sidekick now, so I'm not as helpful as I used to be. But she's asleep right now.
Oh, wow. That's rare.
No, it's cute.
They're more like baby chicks, you know, chickens when you see them run around and then they just fall over.
That's adorable.
That's the way they fall asleep, just plop.
Well, it's kind of funny because sometimes she'll be screaming and then fall asleep. She'll just be like, ah, 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 ah.
Yeah, like the old cassette tapes when they got stuck. Oh,
Yeah, just conks out.
there's the bird that always looks like she's not busy. Trying to clear her beak of the wood now. No, she's chewing on it. Yep, she's over playing on a toy. See, she's a little different out here. Environment makes so much of a difference. They like coming out here. I wish we could do it all the time, but that's not going to happen. Not with our weather.
So Rosebud just said in chat that she needs some extra birdie medicine because the cold weather increases her pain. So let's see, let's look for an extra fluffy birdie with some desert background, so the pain goes away.
Yeah, I can get a feather duvet. Only all the feathers are attached to actual birds. Keep you nice and snug.
Yeah. I don't like the cold, so I know how that feels. Ugh. Actually, most of my body can handle it. It's my hands and my head that have trouble with the cold.
So far, I'm used to the cold we have, but it's not that cold as it used to be. So it's not that big trouble in Germany. I mean, I'm happy that it's cold enough for the hedgehogs to stay in hibernation, because every time they have to wake up in winter, so they consume a lot of their energy. So it's not definitely not good for their survival.
Mm.
But on the other side, it's really not super cold this winter. Flop winter.
Yeah.
No snow.
Well, it was the funniest thing because I could have sworn that this evening, about half an hour before this live stream started, I had an ice cream van. And I'm like, it's February and we're in Scotland and it's nighttime. Like, why is there an ice cream van? And I don't think I hallucinated it. I think it was real. So I can't figure that one out.
Maybe they serve hot toddies in the winter.
Maybe.
There's a big fluffy bird for you. It's a big fluffy bird.
Oh, what a cutie.
He looks like a heart.
He's got pine cones right now, so he gets 2 pine cones a day, and that's about 10 minutes. These are large pine cones too. Oh, I was gonna tell. Oh no. I remembered the name of that place that has the pine cone. Premium Pine Cones is the name online. You get pine cones. Premium Pine Cones. Right? Yeah. They're extra large pine cones right now, and he turns them into dust in 5 minutes. But he likes doing it, and he's got a lot of cardboard too. I just bought a whole bunch of rolls and went in halvesies on some rolls from Uline. They're about 5 foot tall, 4-inch rolls of cardboard that you can just rip off and put onto different parts of toys. So I'm using those to build toys. But this one, I put them on one of those skewers, and then he chews all the wood off there. So all the cardboard off there. Cardboard lasts longer than the pine cones, but yeah. I'm talking about
So
you, big
Jocelyn
boy.
says it's 19 here in Buffalo, New York. So when it's 19 Fahrenheit, then it's quite cold, right?
Yeah, the 32 is freezing.
Ah. Google says -7 degrees Celsius.
Well, the Fahrenheit system makes no sense at all. I mean, I grew up with it, but it makes no sense. Why should water freeze at 32? Water freezes at 0 on Celsius and it boils at 100. Doesn't that make more sense?
Well, Mr. Fahrenheit made it to have his name in history, so even it doesn't make any sense.
Well, the only people who use Fahrenheit in the United States are, if you're outside of, manufacturers don't use it. None of the science uses it. It's just the common folk. And part of the reason for that, here I'm going to get on my soapbox, but part of the reason for that is because if you use the English measurement system, you can say, you can buy a quarter pounder. If someone were to say to you, you can get a 4-ounce hamburger, it doesn't sound so good. So you can play around with the words to make things sound better that way, and as far as the Fahrenheit, it's just because that's what we were taught when we were young. But what are you doing? You want to eat my hand? No, you want me to pet you? I'm going to turn this way because I don't want to turn the camera again. I don't want to switch the camera because it's not easy to do. What are you doing out there? Oh, yeah, you got that feather needs a little bit of work. He's got some feathers that actually need to be preened, so he's not going to leave me alone. Not that I want him to, but as long as they're bothering him, the feathers that haven't taken the sheets off are irritating to the birds. So, hi, baby. How you doing? You having a good day? You having a good day? Are you having a good day? Did I stop petting you? I did, didn't I? I'm not supposed to. I know.
I think I spotted a bucket bird. Oh, that's a good suggestion. Let's all go to Florida. Yeah, I mean, let's just all take our tents and then we camp on Trump's garden backyard.
Yeah,
Must
and
be large enough for us.
Just pray there isn't a tsunami, because in Florida, if you had a tsunami, it'd wipe the whole state off the map. And then the mosquitoes they have there are bigger than helicopters.
But the weather is nice.
Yeah, the weather's nice.
We've got some pretty beaches.
I think their beaches in San Diego are prettier, but
I've not been to San Diego.
no, it's just.
What I love about San Diego is that you can walk over to Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, it helps to know Spanish
Florida
when you're
and
there
Michigan,
too.
yeah. I'm in this group.
It's time to go, but I'm gonna give one short story because Rosebud is saying that she doesn't like to drive at night because of the black ice. Well, there was only one time in my life where I ever tried to do a night job, and I don't know why, but I tried to work at a gas station on the graveyard shift. So at about 3 o'clock in the morning, I went blank, and from 3 to about 4, I wasn't aware of anything I was doing. So I came back to the world at around 4 o'clock in the morning, and one of the guys I was working with, I said, have I been working all this time? And he said, yeah. And I said, I blacked out. He goes, oh, that happens every night. I quit. That was my last day there. I'm not going to work and black out every night and not know what I did. So no black ice, but there was that moment that was like that Stephen King novel, I was on that kind of black ice. Right, Mander? Well, thank you all for being here, and we will see you on Wednesday. Right,
And
Bob?
thank you for coming, everyone. And thank you, Don, for the stream.
You're welcome. Thank you, Eleanor and Amy for moderating, and I should say Babalu for moderating, and we will see you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Science knowledge only adds to the excitement, the mystery, and the awe of a flower.
Evidence is evidence. It's public. Everybody can look at the evidence and assess it, and eventually, if there's enough evidence, come to the same conclusion.
The Chloe Sanctuary for Parrots and Cockatoos, a nonprofit charity dedicated to the empowerment of captive parrots and public awareness.